So it's good to have daily routine.
Travel every time you're in other parts of the world and we have
Yes.
to move the event. Like I notice my week is so weird. It feels so weird not having the Abundance Thursdays. It's strange for me. So I love that you're here during this holiday. So how do you celebrate Independence Day? What does it mean to you? What does 4th of July mean to you and your family?
Sure. 4th of July, of course, that's where independence of USA from the Britishers happened in 1776. But in India, we got independence in 1947. We celebrate that on August 15th and also Republic's Day, which is actually January 26th. So just like July 4th here in India, we celebrate those 2 days. Yeah.
So every country has its own Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly. Canada is a day early. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's July 3rd.
So Canada celebrates their Independence Day a day before the United States.
Oh, I don't know. We were in Ottawa, by the way, 1 year. My cousin lives there. So Kanchan and I went there to Ottawa. It was beautiful time. And we celebrated there in Ottawa. That's the capital. So it was wonderful. Just exciting memories from that year.
So Vinny, we got quite a bit for entrepreneurs. This principle of be impeccable with your word. I think at first, if an entrepreneur hears this, they say, what the heck does that even mean? Right? What does it mean to be impeccable with your word? And if I say, well, it just means be honest, people are like, yeah, I'm always honest. But they're not, Vinny. Most people are not actually honest. They say they'll do something, they don't do it. They overpromise.
Underdeliver. Oh
It's
my
common,
gosh.
right? It's common in this business. Why is the power of integrity so important?
It's so true what we are discussing today because words, when they go leave our lips or our mouth, they can never be returned back. Let's just talk about that first, right? Whatever we say, whatever we speak, it's gone into somebody's ear. Now, if it's good and if it's credible, if it's trustworthy, it will make an impact. But if they discount you, and they say, no, he always lies. It's all dependent on how well you have established yourself with the person you are communicating with. And what's the biggest lie? The lie is then you have to lie 1,000 times to save that lie. And then you forget what you lied about. So I really believe in the bottom of my heart, speak the truth, be communicative, trustworthy, because nobody will give me $220 million if they didn't believe in me. If they did not say, hey, Vinny's communicative, he's giving us the everything, underwritings and all, we have never had, because SEC ruling is they are the one watchdog for investors, rightly so. I find I have done well with the partners who are trustworthy, and I gave my money to them, and other people gave money to me so that they could be really assured that their capital will come back, plus the cash flows, plus the returns, everything.
What we're really talking about is integrity, right? So this
Yeah.
forms the foundation of strong relationships with investors, partners, and stakeholders because you're saying, look, this is
Yes.
the sort of thing I invest in. And I think what's really good about the way you operate your funds is you
Yes.
stick to those assets, right? You say, hey, this is a strategic income fund. This is all we're going to invest in. Then you had the fund that was just hospitality, and it was like, that's all we invest in. And then you had the fund that was just a senior assisted living. That's all you invest in. It
Yes.
was the multifamily
Yes.
funds that it was like, this deal is all we're going to invest in. And that made it
Yes.
very clear to us as investors that this is what we can expect, right? He's not all over the place, not doing these different things. This is how his partners operate. So as you bring into other industries, it's Vinny always
Yes.
expects this standard from his partner. So I know if I'm getting into a Vinny Chopra deal, regardless of
Yes.
who the partner is, I know what kind of partner you're kind of doing. So
Yeah.
that's the integrity of your investment philosophy, I think, follows across as investors are listening and they're saying, okay, like I want to invest with somebody who's going to get my money back. Well, Vinny's done it
Yes.
before, and this is how he does it. So
See,
let's
that's
get
the
into
biggest thing. I'm so
yeah.
glad you're saying that. See, people trust you, and it's not overnight thing. Just like the bank, you don't withdraw $1 million unless you have put money into it, 100,000 or 10,000 and 50,000. You keep on deposit, then you withdraw. Similarly, in the trust factor also, you got to prove yourself and share with your investors everything and everything what they ask. First of all, we need to know our deal, nobody's business. We need to make sure that we are underwriting deal conservatively. We are looking at what investors may ask, handle objections before they come. Not only objections, but we need to educate them. That's the biggest thing, reason of my raising over $200 million. And people kept on giving me from 50. No, I never took 50,000. I think the least I took was 70. And then I went to 100, never went back to less than 100. Then we have investors who have 6 million, 7 million with us now. And we have given them back and they give it back again. And we are returning 17 million right now. And they're saying, Vinny, what's next?
That is integrity. Sliding into commitment and transparency. Why
Yeah.
is it so important to be honest, transparent, and clear in your communications as a fundraiser or as an investor, as somebody
Yeah.
who's helping other people move their money into deals? How did
Yes.
transparent practices inspire confidence and foster long-term relationships? Why is that so relevant to what you do
It's
as somebody who's an operator, syndicator?
it's very important because it's hard to even get $5 or $10 from somebody unless they trust you, what you are standing for, who you are, what's your background, who are the cooks in the kitchen, I call it.
I got to say this every so often as people are jumping in.
Please,
We are talking about being
please.
impeccable with your word. This is Wealth Principle 36. And Vinny
Mhm.
Chopra is just going into commitment and transparency. So, why the relevance for capital raisers? If you don't know who Vinny is, you can go look him up. Under management, it was at his peak 1.6 billion. Now, between him and his partners, it's 2.5 billion. Commitment and transparency. You're just going into trust. Like, why is it so important for investors to trust you?
Totally. This is a very important topic. And if anybody's having trouble collecting money or raising money, capital fundraiser and all that, you got to build trust. It's not the email, it's not the robotic texting to people and then not really giving them what they want to feel and trust you and to really look at your track record. Too many cooks in the kitchen. That is the worst thing can happen when there are too many partners on the top and they don't get along and they get into fight and things like that, that can really take your money down the sink. I say that. That's why I don't partner too many people, especially in syndication and funds. Only 50-50 so that I can control the deal. Plus, the other partner controls half the deal, and they bring money and I bring money, all my investors. That's not a good deal. That's not a good deal in my, because there is no vested interest. There is no burning desire to make sure that their investors are also involved in the whole setup and everything. It's very important to me, at least. And I've walked away. I've walked away from partnerships and I will not do it because the key thing is you got to preserve the capital of investors.
Wow. That is something to watch out for. Hey, this investor's not really losing anything. They're not all the way invested. The operator's not invested. It's very scary. I like that.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning Independence Day earlier, and I just want to brag that this is my favorite holiday
Yes.
because financial freedom,
Ah,
right? Independence, like it's not just for our country. I think it's wonderful that our country 200 years ago became free.